and we're going to be sending it. This is going to be a super exciting day.
Welcome back to the Wet Mammal channel. Today we are getting stuck into the first episode of the Victoria trip. We're in for some
Disaster has struck.
pretty average viz, but we get it done. We have a bit of a drama on the ski, but we explore some incredible sights and get a tasty feed. You guys are going to absolutely love the Victorian series, and this is the first.
We got a couple of flatties, blew the head off this one.
Before any big trip, I always wash down the ski. It just adds a nice protective layer to the ski, ready for it. It's looking nice and shiny, and it's good to go.
And we are good and ready to go. Plenty of gear still to go in, but we have the fridge in, the Bushman's, and that's cooling down now. So we've got a fridge for the trip, which is amazing. And yeah, we've only got one battery just because of time, and the board isn't fully complete just because of time, but we're gonna hit road and get into some spearfishing. I cannot wait. We've got an operational fridge, we've got solar power, we've got the battery charging from the alternator as well when we drive, and yeah, hopefully this is going to be a super fun trip. You excited?
So excited, and I brought all my new fins, so get to test all of them out.
Excellent. And you excited about the bluefin?
Oh yes, we've been talking about this trip for so long, but we haven't had the time, so it's so exciting that it's finally come around.
And yeah, that's the main mission, is to basically go out and target the bluefin tuna. So let's get it. Let's pack up and head. Now that is a serious rig. We're gonna need a bigger trailer. What do you reckon? Put a trailer on top? Canopy needs another canopy. That is class.
It's a fair old drive down to Victoria from Sydney, but it makes for some stunning scenery.
Welcome to Victoria. Stopped off at probably one of the nicest rest areas that we've been to on this trip, and there's chooks. Furry feet, kind of like a bantam, but a bit different. Let's check out the rig, shall we? Because she's looking very, very sexy. We got the D-Max is definitely coming together. We got the solar panels on the roof and the ski all set up for naughty long-range missions. And we got a chicken under the car, which is pretty cool. But I'm hoping that this is unlocked. It's now unlocked, and we've got access to see the wonderful Bushman's 130 litre fridge. Got a bit going on in there, not too much, it's looking a bit empty. And yeah, fully loaded. Very exciting. All right, so we've got the kick-ass DC-DC. We've got a dimmer, which isn't wired up. The board's half done, so there are still some missing components, but we've got a battery going. As you can see, we've got 33 hours until we run out, but as we drive, that will charge up. And we've also got the solar panels on the roof, so they're charging as well. But very, very pleased with this Bushman's fridge. It is absolutely awesome. Plenty of storage, and on the other side we've got a 40 litre freezer, and this is the setup for the trip. Bluefin that we're going to target, definitely. Kingfish could be on the agenda, but there's definitely going to be a ton of shellfish, so we're looking at mussels, scallops, lobsters, abalone, some Victorian tasties like boarfish. We've got sweep, trevally is on a menu, and King George whiting, and hopefully we get to see some sea dragons as well. So it's a very exciting trip. It's a bit action packed.
One of my favourite things about spearfishing trips is just getting out and about and exploring this wonderful country that we call home here in Australia. Absolutely stunning, and there's always a good excuse to get the drone out and get some cool shots.
Now that is pretty stunning.
We made it to Lake's entrance, just stopped for a little bit of a lunch break, then we'll carry on our trip.
Yep, back in the car, but how beautiful is that? What's going on, Tube? Pulled up at a pretty windy spot. Mon's just playing around with the rooftop tent, getting that organised, and we are on for a classic cob cook-up. We're going to do a kind of bacon, creamy bacon pasta with some mushrooms, get us set for the night, and then first thing in the morning we're going to hit it, but cannot wait.
Samu's cooking up a very nice pasta. It smells amazing. Are you excited for the pasta?
Oh god, yeah.
We're so hungry. We've been driving for like 5 hours. Probably more. 6 hours. It's been a while. Long day.
So we're just crisping up the bacon and the mushrooms, a bit of garlic and some butter, and then we're going to add in our sauce, some cheese, and this thing's going to be delicious. This is the finished product. Are you excited?
So hungry.
Alright, let's get stuck in. Enough of the filming, but that is ridiculous. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Who do we have here? Another jet ski on the scene.
Before we head to bed, we pop the drone up and we get some cool shots of this stingray. And I'm not quite sure what happened with Mon. I think she's broken. But the sunset was absolutely unreal.
Alrighty, so cat's out of the bag. We're diving with my good friend, Mr. James, and his friend. So we are going out. Mom's still sleeping, but we're just going to load up the ski and go out on an absolute send it mission. Going to go check out some islands, and if the weather allows, we're going to stay out as long as possible. Maybe target some crays, go for some Victorian specials, and this is going to be awesome. So let's get geared and let's get at it. I'm so stoked. Successfully launched in the water, and just waiting on Mon and James, and then we're going to be sending it. This is going to be a super exciting day, mission, trip, like everything. I'm so excited. Everything's on the cards here. There's even potential for bluefin, but it's not the target, so if we don't see them, we're not too fussed because we're going to save that for another day. How are we looking?
Cold.
Cold. It's going to be a spectacular day. And yeah, that's it. So we've just made it out the front, and Mon's getting ready. We're all UV'd up and good to go for a day in what should be sunshine, but we've got a lot of overcast.
Now it takes us almost an hour to get out to the spot that we wanted to, and the viz really wasn't as hot as we had hoped, but still stunning.
We've made it out to the first island, and yeah, plenty of birds and some seals, but the viz doesn't look too hot. So we're going to go off and try another. Fingers crossed for a better viz.
With the viz out wide being even worse than close to the islands, we decide to hop in for a little dive and see what we can see. Now the viz still isn't too great here, but it's definitely spearfishable, and we're going to make the most of it. We're going to ensure that we take off our rubber so we're not hitting any fish with a rubber dummy, and yeah, get into some diving. The first couple of drops is looking quite fishy, but there wasn't really many predatory fish around. I was kind of looking here for snapper, and I did have a look for some crays, but I couldn't find any crays. So we just continue on diving. There's a good variety of options available here. There's some nice sweep, there's some blue throat wrasse, some goatees, some perch, but nothing really of size. So we're gonna hold off, do a few more dives and see what's happening. The water's about 19 degrees, so it's a bit chillier than Sydney, but it makes for some super tasty cold water species. After about an hour of swimming around and not seeing much, I decided to take a sea sweep. These guys are absolutely terrific sashimi, and I decided to skewer this one. And there we have it, first fish of the trip. It's a sweep. It wasn't the expected target of the day, but given the conditions and the viz, I'm not too fussed with it at all. I absolutely love sea sweep, and I haven't eaten them in a couple of years now, so yum. I do continue to carry on diving. I really do want to try and get like a snapper or something like that come in, but unfortunately before I get the opportunity, disaster strikes.
Disaster has struck. We've got a flat battery and no booster, so the lads are taking their battery out, and we're going to chuck it on mine, get it started up, and then take the battery off, and then yeah, try again with our battery. Not sure why it's gone flat. Yeah, we didn't have it on or anything. I was just diving around. Mum was chilling on the ski, and yeah, sure as shit, she's dead. This is not what we wanted to happen, but There's other boats around. James went on a scout to see if anybody had any jump leads, but nobody did, so we're forced to do a battery change. And yeah, fun times. Nothing like a bit of a challenge. Alright, so we managed to get up and running, which we are absolutely stoked about. We borrowed the battery from James's jet ski and we used it to jump start this, and then we quickly installed our battery. In the process, I've lost one terminal bolt, so I've taken a screw out of the jet ski and just put it in and it fits. So we've got a running jet ski.
I'm glad that we got it all fixed, because I was getting worried for a second there because Sam was in the water and then I couldn't turn on the jet ski and it wasn't turning over, and I was like, Sam! And he's like, drive over! And I was like, I can't! So I'm glad it's all fixed and we can actually move again.
And that was the most disappointing thing for me as well, because if I thought Mom was on to Kingfish or Bluefin, or she'd found something really cool, turns out battery's flat. There we go. More jet ski challenges. Love it. I've just come off the phone from the wonderful guys at SEADOO, and we're going to head back because there is potential for this thing to just conk out at any moment, and we don't want that. So we don't want it because if the winds are due to pick up, then that would just be hairy and gross. So unfortunately, all we got on the first day was a sweep and a dead battery, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. Yeah, so we're gonna try and head to a Bunnings, locate like a bolt so that we can terminate this battery properly, investigate why the alternator or the voltage reader isn't like actually working correctly, determine what's at fault there and why the battery wasn't charged, because if after a 50-minute run it really should be charged. And yeah, that's kind of it. So we're gonna head back. It's been a pleasant day, but it's not been a productive day. But yeah, look, we've got plenty of days on this trip, so if we can get things right now, then we'll be set for good dives. So yeah, right, let's head back. And we're keeping it nice and steady going back, just because we don't want to cook the battery, or yeah, I don't know.
It's a bit of a sad end to the dive already, considering we've only been out for an hour or so, but that's just the way it is sometimes. Got to keep your head up and just enjoy the nature.
I've spoken to the guys from SEADOO and they reckon 100% it's just the battery is cooked, so we're going to go get a new battery and install it, and fingers crossed everything is tickety-boo after that. This Aimrite wetsuit, absolutely super warm. I'm in a 3mm, it's diving 19 degrees today. It's comfy as, like, just so good. Love the pattern on it. Got a bit of purple entwined with a bit of Aimrite red. I've got one side purple, one side red, which is quite cool. It's quite unique, and yeah, absolutely stoked. Well done, Aimrite. We've just got a brand new battery to replace the old one because the old one was a bit temperamental. And yeah, SEADOO was also amazing on the phone, helping, troubleshooting, going through it all. This is the recommendation. So new battery we're going to install, and then we're going to be set for the morning and we're going to go out. It's going to be epic.
Whilst in the process of changing the battery, I actually knocked out a hose, which was a bit fiddly to get back in, but thanks to some top tips from SEADOO, they were able to give me the advice I needed to get the hose back in its slot.
Installed. Great success. Okay, so we're set to go for tomorrow. I just need to pack all this up. I've got to say, this multi-tool is honestly one of the best things you can get. I'll drop a link in the description. The Vera tools are amazing, and this thing comes with all kinds of attachments and even a little socket set, and it's everything that you need to get yourself out of trouble with your jet ski. If you've got a SEADOO, you need this kit. This thing is ultra portable, highly recommend. And massive thanks to the guys at SEADOO for lending on-call support. Jake, you're a legend. It's a Sunday, but I appreciate you helping me out, man. We are good to go. Let's get it. And this is a behind-the-scenes look at biscuit time.
Waka o'clock.
Waka o'clock. So we're just gonna literally smack these and then go to bed and launch first thing in the morning. Can't wait, you're excited? Alrighty guys, good morning. We are up to a ridiculous sunrise. I don't know if you can see that. The sun's coming up. There is not a single bit of wind around. This is gonna be glassy and nice. We're not due to have much sun today. It is gonna be overcast, but I can't wait. And we've got Mon up in the rooftop tent. Can you hear us? You coming out? Yeah? Slowly, slowly. What a view. It is a very, very chilly morning this morning. We have 8 degrees, so hopefully it warms up a little bit, but we're just about to drop the ski in.
Now, we did have a big southerly come in overnight and it dropped the temperature off crazy, but the winds died off and it was flat as, so it was a bit of a quicker run out to the islands in the morning, which was absolutely stunning, and I was hoping that the viz might have cleared up a little bit. We came across all these shearwaters and they were actually on a bust up, which I suspect was bluefin tuna, so we decided to chase around, try and find the bust ups. Unfortunately, what kept happening was the bust ups would only last for about 20 seconds and then they'd immediately die off and then reappear about 200 meters away from us. So we spent a bit of time just cruising over to the bust ups, and almost before we got there, they would just die off.
Alright, it's very much showtime. We've got fish on. There is an absolute bloodbath killing field happening in front of us. I'm going to sneak up a bit closer and sneak in with the gun and see if I can pop a bluefin. This is going to be unreal.
Despite the short bust up periods, I decided to hop in the water and have a crack anyway. The only way you're going to shoot one of these fish is if you're actually in the water, so why not? I dropped back about 50-60 meters from the bust up and I decided to start swimming over. The viz is really not that great. I couldn't see too much past my fins, but I was hoping that that would give me an opportunity for a bluefin to come in close, check me out, and for me to smack him in the head. We do this a couple of times, but with absolutely no success. We spend around 45 minutes to an hour darting from spot to spot, and this is pretty much all I got to see. Nothing much on at all. Very dirty. Now, this place that I'm diving can either be really, really good viz, or it can be pretty average like this, and unfortunately it's average like this, so we're just going to have to roll with it. After the bust ups die down, we hop on the ski and we decide to head it back to the mainland and try our luck there. Fingers crossed for better viz. It was a fun little drive over. We got to see some albatross, gannets working up, and plenty of shearwaters.
How awesome is nature?
We cruise into this little bay and it is absolutely stunning. I'm always amazed with this part of Victoria's coastline. It is like subtropical. If it was a lovely warm day, this place would be insane. Regardless, we've got the bay to ourselves and that is a massive win.
So we've just arrived on our little private beach and we found a scallop shell immediately, so I'm going to go out and have a look for some scallops, maybe some crays. But this place is stunning.
I decided to pop the drone up and see if I can find any good viz. The drone really is a great tool for spearfishing. It allows you to find good viz, good reef, and even workups and fish like this. Unfortunately, they're just little mullet and little bait fish, so we'll move on. The drone doesn't manage to pick up better viz, but it was awesome to see what's out there and from the bird's point of view. I decide to hop on the ski and load up. First things first, I'm going looking for lobster. Southern lobster are absolutely delicious and I've got some really big ones in the past and I'm pretty good at finding them. I have a look around here, you can see plenty of abalone, but unfortunately, despite spending about an hour looking, I couldn't find any lobster. I'm looking in grounds between 2 down to 10 meters and they're just nowhere to be found. I decided to pass up on the lobsters and move on for some spearfishing. Here we've got plenty of options available. There's magpie perch, there's goatfish, there's blue throat wrasse, there's golden wrasse, there's perch, and I'm really hopeful for a snapper. Doing some nice deeper drops and just holding down on the bottom, scratching the rocks, trying to cause something to come in. These goatfish are a bit small, so we'll leave them be, but I'm sure they are absolutely tasty. There was a mix of high fin goatfish and black spot goatfish. I go back to looking for some lobsters at the 12-meter mark, and yeah, I just don't know where they are. Found some really cool ledges and cave systems where I thought that they would be, and no craze at all. But I do stumble across these nice big abalone, and I decide to take 2, which is my per limit. Here's some more sweep, and I'm just practicing my tracking here. It's always good to practice tracking fish, learn their movements, and just hone in your gun skills a little bit more for accuracy. Here's a high fin goatfish, and although he's quite small, they don't actually grow that big, so he's actually not a bad size, but he gives me the slip into the weeds and I can't chase him. There we have a dusky morwong, blue throat going past, got this awesome southern eagle ray, and I'm sorry for disturbing him, but whilst I'm down on the bottom, I do spot this flathead. This is a rock flathead, and in Victoria the legal size is 27 centimeters. This guy is around 35. So I line up a shot, pull the trigger, and he slips off the spear, but he's having an absolute fit. So we turn into this comedic scene whilst I'm trying to catch this flathead, and he gives me the slip a couple of times, and then he just seems to stop perfectly for me to just catch. There you go, thank you. His head is hanging on by a thread on the surface. He gives me a bit of a spine and he comes off again. It's only a couple of dives later when I come down and I see another flathead. At this point, I'm just keeping my flathead under my wetsuit so that I'm not attracting any sharks. I take the shot, and this one I hit him straight in the head and pin him to the seafloor. Taking top-down shots on flatheads can always be a bit risky because of the shot can actually bounce, but also if they have a rock underneath them, the spear will hit the rock and bounce out. Luckily this penetrated into the sand. It didn't deploy the flopper because of that, but the fish held on.
We got a couple of flatties, blew the head off this one, and yeah, managed to headshot that one. So yeah, flathead were not the target species for today by any stretch of the imagination, but we like them, we eat them, they're delicious, so if we see them and there's not much going on, we're going to smack them. There's plenty of other options with magpie perch and like George whiting and blue throat wrasse, but really I didn't want to get anything. A couple of labs, a couple of these guys. Happy days, so let's get them back, fill it up, and yeah, some barbecue.
With a couple of flathead, a couple of abs, and a sweep in the bag, pretty happy for it to call it a day. And stay tuned for the next episode. Disaster strikes again, but we get on to plenty of awesome seafood. Until next time, stay wet, stay fed, catch ya.